You're listening to the City World Radio Network, high-definition digital radio broadcasting from the city to the world. www.cityworldradio.com.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time once again for the Johnny Mandolin Show, broadcasting live. I have my good friend and special guest in, Florida Al, and we're going to be talking about our favorite places to hang out and all the great entertainment there is in New York City. We're going to have a good time. Join us for the party here on the Johnny Mandolin Show, broadcasting live. Don't touch that mouse. We'll be right back. Our theme song, Anello's Blues, bringing us to another Johnny Mandolin Show, broadcasting live on City World Radio and simulcasting on Italian American Radio. Hey, we're having a good time here, folks. We're here in the studio here in New York City, having too much fun. We got Jade on the board, our engineer. And in the studio, I want to welcome my good friend and the crazy man who I hang out with and tear up bars and restaurants, Mr. Famous Florida Al.
Yeah, we tear it up for sure, I'll tell you.
Yeah, more or less.
yeah.
Well, we're not falling asleep.
No.
So, Al and I have been friends for a long time, and we have boldly gone to restaurants and experimented where few have been so brave.
Yes, we have a kind of a similar lifestyle, too. We do kind of the back and forth thing, but you're a New York guy first and foremost, whereas I go back and forth between Florida. But, yeah.
Yeah. And we tear it up.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we've been known to do that. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So tonight we're going to talk about a lot of things. I do have a few announcements to make. I want to remind everybody there are two shows coming up I want to tell you about with my wonderful daughter Marie Anello, who's part of it. She's going to be appearing in an upcoming play reading hosted by the Dramatics Guild of America in New York City. It's called Watching and Listening, and it's a 2-act play. And that's going to be at where is that? That's on October 11th, 2:30 p.m. at the Dramatics Guild, 1501 Broadway, Suite 710. and you should check this out because it's really fun. I've been to a couple of them, and they're great. Another one coming up, a big cabaret show. Listen to this, November 12th at 7 p.m. She's going to be performing with her people at the Seth Bisonhurst's talent show at Don't Tell Mama. Don't Tell Mama's at 343 West 46th Street. $15 cover, 2-drink minimum, and it's going to be a great show. If you love cabaret, these guys are really great. I think you'll really like it. Once again, November 12th, and that's November 12th at 7 p.m. at Don't Tell Mama, 343 West 46th Street. Check it out. I'll be there, and you're going to have a good time while you're there, so don't miss it. So, it's interesting that... I also want to tell you before I get off the topic, we have two great people calling in tonight, Ronnie and Yvonne from the ANNY Animation Festival, which is going on right here in New York, and they're going to be calling in at 7:30 and tell us all about the animation. Like I said, tonight's all about entertainment and what we do for fun, so you'll definitely like hearing from them at 7:30. So Al and I had a very unique experience. We went to a restaurant that was not Italian. And which is unusual, but we do go there sometimes. And Florida Al and I went to this place on the Upper West Side, which we've gone to before, and we maybe have talked about it. But it's a Chinese restaurant, and it's called The Cottage.
The Cottage, yeah.
Isn't that an icon?
That's a fantastic place. And do they have a second location? I thought that they did in Gramercy, and I went looking for it, and I couldn't find it.
Well, they used to be on the Upper West Side, I forget, like 105, and they moved to where they are. And they may have a second location, but it would be Upper West Side. I think they just have that one now.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, they just have the one location.
Right. Okay, so it's 77th Street and Amsterdam Avenue on the Upper West Side, right on the corner. If you can find 77th Street in Amsterdam, you're in front of the Cottage.
And there's a unique thing that they do, Johnny. It involves a little gratis thing that they do, which is near and dear to both of our hearts, being the lushes that we are. And that is that they give you as much, and I'm not kidding on this, as much free wine as you want with your dinner.
That's it. And let me tell you, first of all, the restaurant, the average price of dinner there is about $10. Between $10 and $15 that's it. Right.
And so, it makes for a great evening, though, because we couple that with, another thing that we like doing is exploring dive bars in New York City. And this, one of the great dive bars, probably the first dive bar that I discovered when I first started coming to New York was the Dublin House.
Right.
On 79th, I believe.
79th,
and Broadway.
Just east of Broadway.
Yeah, just east of Broadway.
What a great bar, huh?
Oh, my God. Yeah, it was a great place. So, listen, you can't go wrong. Go have a beer, have a glass of wine, whatever, have a drink at the Dublin House. Go over to the Cottage, and you will not be disappointed.
Oh man, let me tell you. And I had the spicy beef. I like my food pretty spicy, so I had the spicy beef. It was pretty much a whole steak just cut up, and it's got snow peas, and it's got string beans and mushrooms and some other things, all sautéed, plus spicy hot pepper. And I think, I don't know, it's like $12 for the dinner.
Yeah.
And it comes with rice.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So that's definitely, but that's not the only. Johnny, I'm putting you on the spot here. Let me see if you can come up with the other place that is not an Italian restaurant that we love to go. And we've been, maybe not as many times as the Cottage, but we have been to twice or three times.
Not Chinese food.
Not Chinese.
Oh.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, let me think about it.
I know, I'm going to give it away, in a second. You're going to kill me, but I'll give you a chance to guess it.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, it's a Greek place.
Oh, Slovaki Grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful place.
Oh, my God.
Wonderful place.
Oh, man.
The Slovaki Grill is on 56th Street between 6th and 7th Avenue, closer to 7th Avenue. And it is really unbelievably good and for a great value. And the other thing I like about it, and something else we'll talk about later, is it's really right next door to my favorite cigar bar, which is called Carnegie Club.
Yeah. Which is another great, little 1-2 thing for an evening. Go to the Souvlaki Grill and then have a cigar. Have a cigar first. And that's a great Carnegie Club's. What a place!
Yeah,
that's a fantastic.
So let's talk
place.
about both of them. First of all, Souvlaki Grill.
Yeah,
it's not a big place, and if you get there like in the middle of rush hour, you might have to wait or sit at the bar, but it's amazingly good. The food is excellent. I love their Greek salad, which does not have lettuce in it. Their Greek salad is cucumbers and onions and feta cheese in a Greek dressing, which is great. And the other thing is, I'm not a huge eater. I don't like to eat big portions. And you can order anything you want on a skewer. You can get chicken, beef, pork, ground beef, shrimp, and you can order it by the skewer. It's like maybe $4. So you order a beef skewer, a chicken skewer, and a pork skewer, and your dinner's $12.
Yeah. And I know I'm going to jump around here a little bit, but just while we're on the subject of Greek restaurants, we had a lunch in another Greek restaurant not too long ago. It just happened to be a little bit north of New York City, but it was a great day, and what a great thing to do just for the day.
Yeah.
Take the train up the Hudson River. We went to Tarrytown, and beautiful. That was a fantastic.
Do you remember the name of the place?
No, it was at the intersection of their main street, which I think is called Main Street, and another. It's right on a cross street too. It's right in the center of downtown Tarrytown. Tarrytown's not big. You can't miss it. It's a Greek place. It's right on the corner.
And it's white and blue. Who would have thought?
Yeah. And my God, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it really was great. I had a salad there too, and it was great. And Mediterranean food, I really enjoy. I really like it. I like the way they grill the meats, and I love their salads and vegetables.
Yeah.
And that was really it was really a surprise to find that place up in Tarrytown. And we've done these kind of trips before, day trips, like we've done Cold Spring and Beacon and other places.
Yeah, we've been to Beacon, we've been to Cold Spring, obviously Tarrytown, and the place that I want to check out is that one little town that it's just south of Tarrytown. What was the Hastings?
Yeah, Hudson
Hastings on Hudson.
Yeah.
That looks like a pretty cool little town to check out.
They're all nice little towns. They have little, bars or restaurants or something that you could take. It's nice to get out of the city, spend an afternoon there, and have something and see the sights, and then scoot on back.
And for you, it's so convenient because you live right there.
I'm in the north part of Manhattan, so for me, it's literally 4, 5, 6 train stops, and I'm there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, we've done that, and one of the things I want to do, Johnny, I want to come to your pad there, but Columbia plays their football games right near you, and I love to go to those things on Saturday. One of these days we got to do that. I know you're not a big football fan. I know.
No, but I like to go now and then.
Yeah, just come, and you know what? It's beautiful because if you ever been in that stadium, Columbia, it's called Wien Stadium, I believe it. I may not be pronouncing it right, but it's Wein, and that's the name of the Columbia Football Stadium. It's up there in Inwood, and they play all their games there. And if you like sports, if you like college football, which I do, it's just great to see Ivy League football. These guys play for just the pure enjoyment, just the pure passion of it. They're not on scholarship, these Ivy League football, and it's some pretty good games, and it's just a beautiful venue. You're right there, right where the Hudson and the Harlem River come together.
That's right.
And you're sitting in that stadium, and it's a beautiful part of town.
Yeah, you're right across from a part of the Bronx called Marble Hill.
Yeah,
that's where the train goes through, and it's really pretty. There's cliffs, and there's this big bridge that goes over the river on the West Side Highway, and it's truly pretty. It's just a beautiful place. There's a really good little cafe up there called Indian Road Cafe.
Yeah,
and it's a small, like kind of an old school cafe. They have a craft beer, and they have all the coffee drinks and everything, and it's quite nice. Indian Road Cafe, and that's a good thing to do in the fall.
And it's what's really nice too. It's just walking around that neighborhood. Believe it or not, in Manhattan, you've got single family homes. Yeah. You've got little 2-3 bedroom single family homes there. I think the only place in Manhattan where you can still find a single family home.
Yeah, other than a brownstone.
Yeah, with a yard and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really pretty up there, and there's a park up there. It's the top of Inwood Park, and Inwood Park is a big forest. It's actually a 100-acre forest, and when you come out of the forest as you walk north, you're right on the Harlem River, and they have kayaks you can rent and canoes you can rent and paddle out there, and they have there's a little lagoon there, and it actually was an Indian village.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've got the Dykeman farmhouse there,
Yeah.
the last remaining farm. It's not actually a working farm anymore, but it's the last remaining farmhouse
Yeah.
on the island of Manhattan. So you
Yeah.
actually have a farmhouse. You can take a tour of it.
Right.
It's beautiful.
That's right on Broadway and 204th Street. It's funny, I walked past it yesterday on my way home from PJ's, my liquor store. I was coming back with some Italian wine, and I passed it, and it said 1793 on it.
Wow.
On the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
statue.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And the great. And I got to tell you, I know you've been there for a while. I know you love that neighborhood. It's really it's a place to check out. It's you sent me the Johnny. You sent me that article in the New York Times about how it's the last really truly affordable neighborhood in Manhattan.
Yeah.
It's really not a bad train ride. It's like maybe 30 minutes down to downtown, and but the cool thing about it is that it's the last area of Manhattan that Robert Moses back in the day did not bulldoze and make flat
Right.
for automobiles. So it's still very hilly. You actually have stairs that go from one street to the next.
Yeah. Yeah, there's street stairs. Like I think I forget, 215th Street is what they call a stair street. It's an actual street with steps.
Right. Yeah, really cool. I mean, so it's a very, very interesting neighborhood. It's a Dominican neighborhood, so you really get a great international feeling there. A lot of great Dominican restaurants, and yeah, fun place.
A lot of food, and there's some good places there too. It's funny because there's a restaurant up there that one of the things I like about restaurants is good food, but the other thing I like is good prices. Now, as you know, in New York City, you can go have great food, but your bill might be $500. So what I like is some of these restaurants that are really quite good and not expensive, as we talked about the Cottage, $10 for dinner, $12. There's a restaurant in Inwood. It's called Yummy Thai. It's a Thai restaurant. Very good, very nice. It's on Broadway, just north of 207th Street, which is the last stop on the A train. If you took the A train and you took it to its very last stop, that's 207th Street, and when you got out, this restaurant's like 4 or 5 doors up from there. And Yummy Thai is a Thai place, and I get a steak there for $15.
Wow.
With rice and vegetables and stuff. It's really good.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another good Thai place on 9th Avenue. It's called At 9, and it's on 9th Avenue just north of 42nd Street. And that's a nice place, too. It's funny because a lot of the Thai restaurants, I don't know the ones I've been to, they all have drink specials. Now, I'm not a big drinker, and I don't drink like, what's the word, fruity drinks. But like at Yummy Thai, they have drinks like called mimosas and bellinis.
Right.
$3.
Yeah.
Where do you get a mixed drink for $3?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you can't get a beer for $3.
I know. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to especially the lifestyle that you and I live. We're never home. We're out all the time.
Always working, always traveling. So
yeah. So and you can definitely lose your shirt. I swear, in New York, it's very, very easy to go through minimum $100 a day. That's just walking around.
Yeah.
Doing normal stuff.
Yeah. It's not uncommon to stop in a restaurant and have a glass of wine and maybe a salad and spend $50 or $60. The wine's $15, $18. The salad's $35. It's like crazy prices. People like in the Midwest and some places, like in the South, maybe they just go, "Are you crazy? You're paying $18 for a glass of wine?" But
Yeah.
it does happen. But then you got to know where to go. I mean, one of our favorite dive bars is Rudy's on 9th Avenue and 44th Street. And Rudy's, they have their own beer and several kind of every brand of beer, but their beer's $3, and every time you order a drink, you get a free hot dog.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I've been to Rudy's several times. I almost bought an apartment right around the corner from Rudy's, but it's a really, really cool place. But that's the dive bars. Now we're getting into our area of
that's the
particular
of
expertise.
Dive bars, yeah, right in Hell's Kitchen. But it's really fun. Rudy's, they got a big plastic pig out in front, so it's hard to miss it.
Yeah, my favorite dive bar in the city, I gotta say, is on Houston Street, and it's in between Mott and Mulberry, and it's called Milano's. You've been there with me, haven't you?
Many times.
Yeah,
Milano's.
it's an old Italian bar. Been there for
old mafia bar.
Actually, not Italian. I'm saying that wrong. It's even though it has the name Milano's, it's an old Irish bar, is what it is. But it's a great old New York memorabilia in there. Just it's like a long cavern, just a long bar goes all the way back, but really, really cool place. A lot of character in that place.
Yeah, old photos on the wall, pictures of boxers, and just artifacts, and
Oh, speaking of boxers, though, here's another place that you and I frequented and met is Jimmy's Corner.
Yeah.
Jimmy's Corner, great New York
What
bar.
a buried treasure. Because where is it? It's right in the middle of Times Square, the one place New Yorkers hate to be.
Right.
No New Yorker goes to hang out in Times Square.
Right, and don't look for it on the corner because it's not on the corner. That's not what Jimmy's Corner means.
That's right.
It means because he was he was a trainer. So
Boxing
you
trainer.
go to the corner. Yeah, you go. After in between rounds, you're in the corner, and so but great boxing pictures. He trained Muhammad Ali, and he's got just a lot of great very famous boxers. Boxing pictures all over the fantastic place. $3 for like
beer,
a
whatever.
beer, yeah.
Now you can Google all these places if you're out of. We have a lot of listeners who are not in New York. Then you say, "Oh, I want to come to New York." Well, keep a list of all these places because you can Google them. You can find out where they are, and you can avoid the tourist traps and the $18 glasses of wine, and you can find Jimmy's Quarter and spend $4 for whiskey.
Yeah,
So,
that's a great place. Yeah,
and it's truly amazing because it is like it's just off of 7th Avenue and Broadway, just east of Times Square, in between 6th Avenue and Times Square. And so if you're walking too fast, you'll miss it. You will miss it.
Yeah, you'll walk right by it.
Yeah.
It's right across the street from, I think it's the Belasco Theater.
Right.
So that's the closest landmark. So if you're at the Belasco Theater, you just look right across the street, and that's Jimmy's Corner.
Yeah, and it's also a couple doors east of Virgil's Barbecue, which is a big place.
Right.
But I'm telling you, this is just a dive bar. If you don't like dive bars, don't go there.
Yeah.
It's not fancy. You're not going to get linen. You're not going to get champagne in a crystal. You're going to get a bottle of beer.
Yeah.
You're going to get a shot of whiskey in a whiskey drinking glass, but it's great.
Yeah, it is. And did you come with me? Did I take you there recently to the Holiday Cocktail Lounge on St. Mark's Place?
Yeah, we went there.
You come with me on that?
Yeah, that was cool.
That used to be really well, that's an old Ukrainian neighborhood, that part of the East Village, and so that was an old Ukrainian drinking bar, shot in a beer kind of a place, and it had a stainless steel facade, because people would just tear it up and throw stuff against the walls. So I mean, it was you couldn't believe this place. So anyway, it was that's when it was really at its divey self. It was just bought by some new owners that kind of redid the interior, and it's still very, very divey, and it's still very, very affordable. But that's a very, very cool place. And I've never been with you, Johnny, but one of these days we've got to go. Is a place right next door, or a couple doors down from the Holiday Cocktail Lounge. It's a place called Jules.
Oh, I've been to Jules. Sure.
You have been to Jules?
Yeah,
okay.
They have jazz there.
Yeah, they have jazz, and but it's like last time I was there, it was like really guitar based jazz. It was very Stefan Grappelli sounding. Fantastic place, man. Yeah. And it's kind of, to me, it's got a little bit of an Arturo's vibe, but not Italian. More
it's
French.
French food, and our good friend Frankie Sticks plays there now and then too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
speaking of dive bars, while we're on it, you texted me from one the other day, the Old Town Bar.
Oh, the Old Town Bar. Yeah. I love that.
A lot of movies shot there.
I love the Old Town Bar. The Old Town Bar is fantastic.
That's what, 13th or 14th, 15th?
It's on 18th. It's on 18th between, I think
Broadway
it's between Park Avenue and
Park Avenue South and Broadway.
Yeah, it might be. And great bar. Of course, it's right down the street from Pete's Tavern. If you want to do a little bar crawl, Pete's Tavern, Old Town Bar, fantastic.
Yeah, these are historic bars. Old Town Bar, a lot of movies were shot in there. Many movies, and a lot of Law and Order shows, and there's a movie with Sean Penn and Ed Harris called State of Grace about the Irish Mafia, and they shot a lot of that in the Old Town Bar. And as Al was saying, if you head up a little more north, you head to Gramercy Park and you go to Pete's Tavern, which is a very historic place. It was a real cafe type existence for a lot of people. O. Henry, who wrote Gift of the Magi, penned it in Pete's Tavern.
Yeah. And so they're in competition. What are the bars that lay claim to the oldest bars in the city? I think it's Pete's Tavern. The other one would be the Ear Inn, which we've been to.
Yeah, where the floor kind of slopes down.
Yes. Oh man, fantastic! Very low ceilings, like it's an old frame house.
Yeah, and there's old bottles from. Like old liquor bottles from the 1800s, 1700s.
Fantastic place. Yeah. And then the other one, I guess, would be McSorley's, I guess, right? But there's another place that's called the Bridge Cafe, and it's right under the Brooklyn Bridge. You and I have never been there
I've been
together.
There.
I've been there, but yeah.
Yeah, I've been there before, too. It's in the South Street Seaport.
Yeah. And that place, I think, has more claim to it than any of the others, but yeah, but just going to these old historic places, just man, for me, I'll tell you, just I can't tell you the great peace that I feel and the good feeling that comes over me being in New York City, sitting in an old dive. Having a glass of beer, just enjoying, especially if you're with a buddy of yours and you're just talking, shooting the breeze. What a great, just I'll tell you.
Well, for me, in going to a dive, a real dive bar, not one that's made to look dive bar, but an original real dive bar, or a restaurant for that matter, I always kind of feel like I'm going back in time.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting at the bar seat, and I mean, I could have been sitting, 80, 90 years ago next to F. Scott Fitzgerald, or 100 years ago next to whoever.
Or drinking with Norman Mailer, or
exactly.
whatever. Yeah. Exactly.
You feel like you're going back in time because you're doing the same thing they did in the same place with probably the same liquor. So,
right. Now you could sit at home with a bottle of beer, with a beer, and but just nowhere near the same thing. You just got to be outside. You got to be out, and it just I don't know what it is about that.
Yeah, it's a real different feeling because I can give you an example. When I'm in California, there's not many bars where I live, but the bars are mostly part of a larger chain restaurant. So if you go to a bar, you're going to TGI Fridays or Chili's, or there's a place called BJ's there, which is like it's like a TGI Fridays. So that's the kind of bar you're going to go to. And whereas in New York, like I said, you can go into a bar. Some of the bars don't even have the soda gun. Yeah. I mean, if you want soda, they unscrew the bottle and pour it.
Yeah. Now for me, one of the things that I really enjoy. Now I know you and I, Johnny, don't do this because this is not the kind of thing you can. This is. For me, it's especially interesting that I love to do because my time in New York is limited. I come and I spend a couple of weeks and I got to go back to Florida. And Johnny's here year round. So, but for me, I love going to the old hotel bars. The King Cole Bar and the St. Regis Hotel and Bemelman's Bar and the Carlisle Hotel, the Carlisle Cafe.
Yeah, I was going to say the Carlisle, the Algonquin.
For me, that is old New York, especially, around the holidays. Yeah. Around the holidays to go and one of my favorite things to do is I see the Radio City Christmas show every single year, and I always go to the King Cole Bar before, have a drink, and then go to see it. Just it wouldn't be Christmas without doing that.
Yeah, there's speaking of hotel bars, here's a tip for everybody. On a Tuesday at 4:30 till I think 6 or 6:30. There's an old bar right in Midtown Manhattan. It's called the Hotel Edison. It's on I'm going to say it's on 46th or 47th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue. Hotel Edison, you could Google it. But every Tuesday at 4 o'clock, 4:30, there's a great jazz guitar player who our listeners know. He does the Sexton Records Jazz Hour every Wednesday at 7, and that's Larry Luger. And Larry Luger has a band that plays there every Tuesday. I'm going to say about 4:30. And the cool thing about it is, besides it's free and besides it's jazz, they put out a whole spread. They put out, they have really great food from an Italian restaurant, and sometimes they have beer and wine.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Yeah.
Now, in New York, like I said, when you pay $18 for a glass of wine, a free glass of wine goes a long way.
And Larry Luger's great.
Yeah.
I've heard him many times. He's fantastic.
Genius guitar player, and a great guy, a great friend, and a hardworking man. Guy does like 10 gigs a week. So my hat's off to Larry. Check Larry out, by the way, at Sexton Records. That's CEXTON.com, which is a sponsor of our show tonight. And Larry Luger, he's on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on City World Radio Network, so check him out. All right, we're coming up on the halfway point. We're going to have a call come in, and I want to thank Florida Al for joining me. We have a whole another half of the show to come, so don't go away. We're going to talk about more of our favorite places and some secret places that we know. And also we're going to talk about some unusual restaurants that you might not know exist. So we'll be right back after a little brief music intermission, and then we'll go to our phone call. Here we go. Here we go. The amazing Larry Luger. Larry Luger, what a great guitar player. That was Larry from his last album, which is called Thank You for Your Patience. Larry has a brand new CD coming out called Larry's Way, and we'll be talking about all that on another show. So on the mic right now and on the phone, I want to welcome Yvonne and Ronnie from the Animated Film Festival we've been talking about. So welcome, introduce yourselves.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having us on to say a few words about the festival. We have a great one coming up this Saturday and Sunday, October 5th and 6th. We have 4th annual Annie Best of Fest. Animation Night New York in partnership with Anderson Contemporary, and we have some awesome stuff for you.
Wonderful. So tell us about it.
Well, we have Animation Nights New York is a monthly screening event and annual festival. So we show the best animated short films from all around the world. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
And for Best of Fest, we have animation screenings. A panel of judges select their favorite 20 films from the 165 that are screened throughout the year. And
some of the judges.
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
judges, the head of Comic-Con.
Wow.
That's right. Yes, we have some really incredible panel judges and names. Gareb Shamus is one. He founded Comic-Con, really. We have Sabine from Blue Sky is our industry panel grand prize winner juror. We have James Pallett selecting our XR prize. We have 8 panel judges and special prize judges selecting films. In addition, we have professional panels, and we have an incredible fine art exhibit curated by Anderson Contemporary. Ronnie's
that
here
would be my end.
Yes.
Anderson Contemporary. I was just going to say that's it's been a wonderful opportunity to be a part of this, and I think it's what makes the Best of Fest Animation Nights New York very unique, and because it not only involves some of the best animation films that you'll ever see, but it also incorporates fine art and also art and technology. So we have augmented reality prints that you wouldn't normally be able to see an animator and have a piece of art in your home. It sort of comes to life in an animation form. We have some virtual reality with immersive experiences. Monet's, we get to go into Monet's garden.
Wow!
So there's really exciting exhibits that you'll all get to see, which is part of the festival.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of animation, and that's really fun. Now tell our listeners, where is it, when is it, and how do they get there?
So we are the beautiful 180 Maiden Lane, and that's in the Seaport District in Manhattan. The festival is from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. both days. Everything on the main floor, all the exhibits and events are open to the public. We do ask that you RSVP, and if you go to AnnieBestOfFest.com, you can find out more information, or Annie.nyc. You also can, Ronnie, do you want to mention your website?
Sure.
Well?
And for the art exhibit artist reception, that's going to be at 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Sunday. We're doing just a little wine and Prosecco cocktail for all of the artists, and that's open also to whomever would like to attend.
Yum.
But we do ask for an RSVP, and you can go to www.andersoncontemporary.com for more information on that.
Wonderful. and now the website, spell out the website for our listeners.
Anderson Contemporary is www.anderson, ANDERSON, contemporary, CONTEMPORARY.com.
And how about for the Animation Festival?
So Annie.nyc, ANNY.nyc, or Annie Best of Fest, ANNYBESTFEST.com.
That's great. It sounds like you've got some really great animations people can see, and it sounds like a really good time.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Animation from all around the world. We're really showing the best animated content from all around the world. We invite you to come out.
Love it.
Absolutely. It's important to support independent animation film. We're like the mini Tribeca of animation film, so everybody should come and enjoy it and check it out. It's a beautiful building, and it's a lot of fun.
I love it. So once again, what did you say the address was? 180 Maiden Lane?
Yes.
180 Maiden Lane. It's on the corner of South Street and Maiden Lane.
Okay.
And it's sort of like on the border of Seaport and Financial District.
Great. Beautiful
It's easy to
location.
get to by subway. You can take the 4 and the 5 to Fulton if you're coming from uptown. There's a lot of ferry services that drop you right off at Wall Street. So it's very accessible.
Yes. And the hours
There's always
are?
Uber, too.
The hours?
Sorry?
The hours.
12 p.m. to 10 p.m., so it's really all day.
Saturday and Sunday.
That's correct, yes.
Great.
There's a list on the website of times, so you can check out the schedule, because if you don't want to come all day, The screenings are in the evening. Some of the actual animation films are going to be shown later in the evening, and you'll see the ones that were nominated for the Best of Fest throughout the year, and they're really exciting and fun to watch. And those are start more in the evening, but then all the experiences of VR is throughout the day. And there's also going to be Chefscape is going to be doing pop-up food and beverages. So there's going to be a lot of food and different stations for the public to go and experience that. And so there's just a lot of different things that they can go throughout the day.
Yeah, and we have some really, the panels are really interesting, too. We have panels from women in animation and
the Whitney Museum.
The Whitney Museum.
Wow.
Augenblick's 20th anniversary screening. We have a Visual Effects Society premiere panel happening, a demo on real-time animation, really cutting-edge and traditional content.
That's wonderful. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the air and telling us all about it. Our whole show tonight is on entertainment and fun things to do, so you made it happen for us here on City World Radio and Italian American Radio.
We're also always grateful to supporters as well, if anybody wants to come down and sponsor.
Beautiful.
That's right.
Well, Ronnie and Yvonne, thank you so much for being on the Johnny Mandolin Show. Good luck with your show.
Thank you so much, Johnny. Hope to see you this weekend.
I'm going to try and make it there. You guys have fun and have a great show. Thank you for being on the air.
Thank you so much. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That sounds like a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
What a blast. I'm going to have to make it down because I love animation.
Yeah, I do too. One of my favorite all-time movies is an animated movie, WALL-E. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see WALL-E, but I saw it.
Oh, my God. Yeah, great movie.
Yeah, I do like animation. And, speaking of movies, we're lucky in New York that we have a lot of really great theaters. I mean, of course, we have the big theaters like the Regal and the AMC theater, which plays mostly big features. Although I have to say, I really like them. They're very comfortable. Yeah. They have stadium seating, so no one's got their head in front of you.
Yeah, you get the big recliner.
Right, it's very nice. But I like the little hole-in-the-wall theaters, too. Sure. Angelica, IFC.
Film Forum,
yeah. Sadly, the sunshine's gone. But
Yeah, there's... Film Forum is just what a great venue that is, and just very, very interesting movies. The kind of movies that you're not going to see just whenever. Not too long ago, Johnny, they had a Burt Lancaster Film Festival.
Oh, how fun is that?
And my God, every great Burt Lancaster movie. Sweet Smell of Success, one of yours and my favorites, with Tony Curtis, black and white, kind of film noir. And, of course, Elmer Gantry, and The Swimmer, From Here to Eternity. Just the Burt Lancaster movies are just, for me, he was Hollywood royalty. He was a movie star.
Yeah. Yeah. Great actor. I enjoy those films a lot, and I love film noir.
Yes.
I love films from the 40s and 50s. I just love that whole era. Anything Humphrey Bogart,
Yeah.
That's great. Good films. And like I said, in New York, we're lucky to have all these independent film theaters. I know they have them in Hollywood and other places too, but the good thing about New York is everything's so close.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire Manhattan Island is only 16 miles long, and we have subways that kind of go everywhere. So, you can literally go to 2 or 3 movie theaters in one day if you really want to.
I was thinking about this, Johnny. Again, this is coming kind of from my perspective because I'm not here as much as you are. So every time I come back into the city, for me, it's like all new again, and it's all just exciting again. I don't get tired of it. I don't get jaded by it. I don't become used to it, and I appreciate just all little things. And one of the things that I was thinking of the other day, just right when I got into town, I think I was on my way to go see a movie, and I'm walking over there, and in walking over there, I decided to take a certain route that I'd never taken before because I just wanted to go down some streets that I hadn't seen. I don't know what's on this street. I don't know what stores there are. And it just occurred to me that half of the fun of just living in New York and going places and doing things is the walk. It's just the walk there.
Yeah, I always say you don't see New York in a cab or a bus. Yeah, it's a walking town. That's how you discover things. Like a little thrift store you didn't know was there. Or,
Exactly.
Or like I found up in Inwood, I found a great little empanada store. It's, just a long, narrow little store, but they have the best empanadas I ever had.
Well, Johnny, I got to say, I just want to let your listeners know, and I'm sure that they've probably figured this out already because they've been listening to you, but I don't know anybody that has such an encyclopedic knowledge of this city as far as just restaurants and places, and the street that they're on, and they're between this street and that cross street. Unbelievable.
I get around.
Yeah.
Thank you, Al. I appreciate that. Florida Al. Thank you. I paid him to say that. No, I'm just kidding. So now there's we're going to transition to a different kind of restaurant and talk about it because, once again, unfortunately, it's kind of dying out and there's less and less. But I love a New York diner or a New York coffee shop. And I'm not talking Starbucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm talking a nice New York diner or coffee shop. We have a great one up near me called Capital. Yeah. And it is, breakfast at a diner with pancakes and eggs for $5 or $6.
Yeah. Do you remember the time that we were at the Waverly Diner on 6th? It's on 6th Avenue and Waverly Place, I believe it is. Yeah. And I used to, when I first moved to New York, I lived right near there, and I'd go there like every morning for breakfast. And I think it was like 2:00 in the morning. We'd been out. Yeah. I mean, what possessed us to do this? I don't know.
We were hungry.
But we'd been out, and so we go there and we have bacon and eggs at like 2:00 in the morning.
Well, that's actually, these days I'm in bed by 10 p.m. because I'm up early to work on my day job. I have this really awful grinding day job. Not really. I have this terrible profession. It's called lawyer.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that when I was working music, I'm a professional musician and played many years before I ever went to law school. And one of the things we do is we play a gig, wrap up about 2:30, 3 in the morning, and then the whole band would go out to breakfast at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I miss those days. Now it's like, forget about it.
Yeah.
But we did have a good time.
You remember that? Yeah.
Sure,
that was fun.
Yeah.
But Greasy Spoons and diners, they're great. And there's a million of them. They're all over.
They're around. I've seen more and more close, sadly, but I'll give you a heads up on a couple of the ones I like. I told you about Capitol, which is on Broadway and 207 in Inwood. And there's another one that's really, really easy to get to if you're in the north part of Manhattan. It's called the Hudson Diner. And the Hudson Diner is right off the A train at 181st Street. And here's how close it is. When you come out of the subway on the northeast corner, you're standing in front of it. And that's how hard it is to get there. You walk out and you're in front of the Hudson Diner. And it's just a cool little funky diner. Nothing too special, but, I mean, it's great for breakfast.
Yeah.
And there's this little hole-in-the-wall coffee shop. Now, coffee shop and a diner are different. Diner, has a 20-page menu, and, it has booths you sit down in. But a coffee shop is kind of a counter with those little stools that spin and maybe one or two tables.
Now that is a vanishing
Truly. Well, there's one on 25th Street. It's between 6th and 7th Avenue, and it's called Johnny's. And there used to be a big flea market in a garage years ago. They closed that garage down and made them luxury condos. But I used to go to the flea market because I love flea markets. And I'd always hit Johnny's for breakfast right there, right before I'd go into the flea market. It's still there. Wow. And it's on, like I said, it's on 25th Street, and it's between 6th and 7th Avenue. If you're walking too fast, you'll miss it. If you get there too late, there are no seats because there's 6 stools and 1 table.
Wow.
But it's a great breakfast for $5 or $6, $7.
Wow. That's a place. I got to check that out. Yeah. But,
right. They're dying out. There's a good one in right near Avenue A and 14th Street, right over there, not too far from like Peter Cooper and Stuyvesant Town. Mm. And it's not there anymore, but it was right on the corner. And again, it was just a good little hole-in-the-wall diner,
Yeah. Nothing better than that. I don't know what it is about those places, but the bacon and eggs just taste so much better. Yeah.
Yeah,
it just tastes so much better.
Bacon, eggs, or sausage and eggs, and you can get pancakes and French toast.
That's my weakness. Put a plate of bacon in front of me, I can't stop.
Game over. Huh?
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So, we've talked about bars, we talked about restaurants, and we've talked about diners, and, just really great places. This is all in New York, all accessible, not hard to find, and it's just the other. I guess the only thing we haven't talked about is the hot dog carts.
Yeah.
Some great hot dog carts in the city too. Dirty Water Dogs, or the guys with the little grill.
Yeah.
They grill the shish kebab.
Yeah. I remember one time I actually had a chestnut. Now, the song Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. In the wintertime, a lot of these push carts will have chestnuts that are roasting. I don't know if you ever tried one. Have you ever had an actual chestnut?
Oh, yeah, but years ago.
Man, talk about filling. I mean, it takes a long time to eat this thing. They're big, they're meaty, really, really good. But let me tell you, that's a little bit of a semi-meal eating a whole chestnut.
Yeah, they're good, and they make them right there. And also the guys with the nuts, they'll have like peanuts and the caramel corn.
Yeah.
And this is, for those of you, I know I have a lot of listeners not from New York or maybe never been. These are little carts, literally carts on wheels, and there'll be a guy selling hot-made roasted toffee peanuts, or maybe hot dogs, or maybe chicken on a skewer, And in the cold winter, when you're walking around and it's cold, you just like standing right by that grill as you order your hot dog, because it's warm.
One business idea that I've had for a long time, and it was an idea that was given to me by Scotty Genta from Arturo's, but I've never done it. If anybody's listening and they've got a little bit more gumption than I do and a little bit of money and want to put an idea together, I'll just throw this out there for you. But New York is a dog city. I mean, people have dogs. People go crazy for their dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And there's dog runs, and the people are always out walking their dogs. So my idea was to, right by a park, right by a dog run, have a little push cart, but with dog treats.
Yeah.
Just all different kinds of dog treats, different collars, different muffs, like little scarves for the dogs or whatever. Just all little things for dogs on a push cart, so you don't have to rent a location.
Yeah.
And I just never got around to doing that.
No, it's a great idea, and you're right. Everybody has a dog.
Everybody's got a dog. I mean, you go to a dog. I mean, go to almost any park has Washington Square Park where I live has 2 dog runs. Has a dog run for big dogs, and then has a smaller dog run for small dogs. Unbelievable.
It truly is. It's very much a dog-friendly city. Well, we have too much fun in New York, and you can probably hear our enthusiasm. I want to thank all our listeners. We have most of our listeners in New York, New Jersey, and the area. You guys know all this stuff, but a lot of our listeners out in Florida and Chicago and California, Las Vegas, New Orleans. We appreciate you listening in. And when you come to New York, check these places out. And check us out all the time, cityworldradio.com. Lots of shows. We have a show coming up right after my show. And we're on 24/7, so there's always a great radio show on City World Radio. And we are broadcasting simultaneously, a simulcast on Italian American radio. Everything Italian. So definitely check that out. Check those out. It's ItalianAmericanRadio.com, CityWorldRadio.com. We love you listening. That's important. So I want to say a special thanks to Florida Al for being on.
Oh, great, Johnny. Had a great time, as usual.
Well, as usual, you're coming back. So
Yeah.
we'll have you back on soon. Al has to go back to Florida and pay dues, but he'll be back in New York to run around and party and hit dive bars and restaurants and diners.
Yeah, if you twist my arm, you might just get me to do that.
And we didn't mention a good slice of pizza. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
me.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I want to thank Jade, our engineer, and I want to thank everybody for listening in, all our friends from California, Phil Gonzalez, our regular listener, and all our friends who are out there. We really appreciate you listening in. My email is johnsexton.com, Sexton with a C, John Sexton, like Sexton Records, our sponsor. Write to me. Let me know what you think. Love you guys. Take care. Enjoy. Don't touch that mouse. More coming up as we head on out of the Johnny Mandolin Show. Thanks, Al.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Johnny.
Bye.